This is a tutorial that demonstrates how to resubmit and/or edit a timesheet when your team is utilizing the 1 or 2 tier timesheet submission methodologies. Now, a typical use case in a scenario like this would be when an individual has submitted a timesheet and needs to make edits to those changes. If you have any questions regarding the methodology that you or your team are utilizing, you can ask any of your admins and they will have access to the information on those methodologies. Now in this scenario here, we are impersonating Alaris, and Alaris has submitted his timesheet already for approval. As you can see here, in his time home, it's already checked off as submitted. So if Alaris were to go in and look at his timesheet, you can see here he cannot make any changes to that timesheet. So what we're going to need to do in this situation is escalate the changes that need to be made to the timesheet approvers. Now where this is going to go is it is going to go to the final approver, and they will need to make it re-available for Alaris to make those changes. Over here in the workspace that is being utilized by Draven, you can see here that Alaris's timesheet has been already submitted and approved for the week of the 22nd through the 28th. So if we click on that week here under the name category, you can see here that Alaris's timesheet is here in the timesheet queue. Now, in order to make these changes, we are going to need to resubmit this timesheet. So if we go over here under AK, which shows the initials of the individual that submitted the timesheet, and hit Resubmit Timesheet, you can see here that the timesheet has already been submitted for approval previously, and then it gives you those instructions on how to resubmit the timesheet. But what we want it to do is we want the approval to come back to Draven here, whose workspace we are in. So we're going to go ahead and hit Submit. And what that's going to do is that's now going to release this for edits, where I could either approve or reject it again, but what we're actually going to do is we're going to delete this timesheet. Now, as a note, deleting this timesheet is not going to delete the timesheet, but rather what it's going to do is it's going to delete it from Draven's queue and send it back to Alaris for edit. So I'm going to go ahead and hit OK. Now, if we go back here into Alaris's time home, you can see that that timesheet has been re-released and we now have the option to submit it. But what we're going to do is we're actually going to go into this timesheet and make those edits. To make those changes, we're going to go ahead and go to the time entry grid and select Add Time on Grid. Now we are going to go to the week of the 22nd through the 28th, which is displayed here. And we're going to just go ahead and make those changes. He just needed to add 1 hour to Monday the 23rd. So let's go ahead and update that. And we'll give that the default time code and add that time. Now that that time has been updated, we're going to go ahead and resubmit this timesheet. So go ahead and select Submit the Timesheet. When the timesheet is submitted, it's going to give the option for an approver. Most teams will only have one option here. So we're going to go ahead and select Draven, who we know is the approver, and submit that timesheet here under Alaris with the edits made in it. You'll get this message that says your timesheet has been successfully submitted, and hit OK. Now as we navigate back over to the workspace of Draven, you can see back here under Timesheets Requiring My Approval that Alaris's timesheet with the updated 1 hour change is now available and pending approval here. So what this is doing here is it's going to show you that this is pending the approval of Kate Nielsen. Kate is the PM and she needs to go ahead and go in and make those approvals in order for it to be moved on to Draven for final approval. Here in Kate's workspace, if we navigate through and go into Time and then select your Timesheet PM Approvals, you're now going to see that Kate needs to approve this timesheet here that is pending. And so we're going to enter it, view it, and now she can approve it. So that is now approved and it is pending the approval by Draven. Back here under Draven, the final approver, you can see here that it is approved by Kate. So we're going to go ahead and go back into the timesheet here, and we're going to review it, make sure that everything looks okay. And now Draven is going to approve this timesheet. Now this is the final submission here for this timesheet. And this was a tutorial to go through the process on how to make edits or changes to a timesheet that has been submitted utilizing the 1 or 2 tier timesheet submission methodologies.